All right, boys and girls, talking about quadrilaterals for a while. In case you're not quite sure what I just said, quadrilaterals, four-sided figures, four angles, four vertices, and many other delightful things. We're going to categorize them today. Talk about some of my favorites: rectangle, square, kite, trapezoid, rhombus, and parallelogram. Squares, rectangles, they are also parallelograms. Parallelograms are two four-sided figures that have two sets of parallel sides. And rectangles and squares both have two pairs of parallel sides, two sets. We have one, two, one, two. Two sets of parallel sides for parallelogram. One of the most interesting words in the geometry world, at least from what I've been told. Trapezoids have exactly one set of parallel sides. Rhombuses have two sets of parallel sides, also similar to a parallelogram, so I guess that makes a rhombus a parallelogram. So squares and rectangles and rhombuses can all be parallelograms. Kites are very interesting. Lots of people get confused with kites. They have two sets of equal sides that are adjacent to each other or next to each other. So there's one set of adjacent sides and another set of adjacent sides. But you can see that all four sides are not the same length. You have two sets of sides that are the same length. Trapezoids come in many different sizes and shapes. This is a very common one. Rhombus, sometimes referred to as diamond. Kids like to call them diamonds. People like to call them diamonds, but I don't. Diamonds are three-dimensional shapes. They're what's on your rings and in your earrings. So this is a rhombus. Square can also be a rhombus. A square is a special rhombus because all four angles are the same size. This rhombus has two different size angles, and they're all this angle and this angle are acute. This angle and its opposite angle are obtuse. So there are quite a lot of similarities in all of these shapes, but they're all distinctly different also. With our hierarchy, any polygon with four sides, as I said in the beginning, is a quadrilateral. It can also be called a quadrangle. Quadrilateral with one parallel sides is starts with a T, ends in epizoid, trapezoid. A quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides opposite each other is a parallelogram, like a square and a rectangle, and sometimes a rhombus. A quadrilateral with two pairs of adjacent sides that are congruent, remembering congruent from number corner, meaning same size, same shape. And a parallelogram with four right angles is a rectangle. Now, that's the dictionary version of the definition for rectangle. It's a quadrangle, it's a parallelogram, but it's not a square. A rhombus is a parallelogram or a kite with four congruent sides. So we just learned that a rhombus can be a kite. A rhombus is a kite when all four of its sides are congruent and all the angles are the same size. And then down at the bottom, we have square. Now, square is or has a lot of characteristics of all of them, or not all of them, but it has the most characteristics and it can be the most things. And we'll talk about that in the next slide with our hierarchy scale or pattern here. Square can be or can be a rectangle and a parallelogram and a quadrangle, quadrilateral all at the same time. But if we were to work in reverse, that would not occur. A quadrilateral can be a parallelogram, but it doesn't always have to be a rectangle. It can be other things. So when you're working on your assignments, if you haven't done Bridges Book 226 yet, make sure you get that completed. And then for today, you're going to work on Bridges Book 227. Read the directions. They're pretty self-explanatory. What does the 4 in point 4-8 represent, and so on and so on and so on. And look back to any of the sources that we've got, or any of the songs or videos. Don't forget to hang out with me. Give me a call, drop me an email, check Flipgrid, and use your Seesaw tools for other assignments. You can use Seesaw on any one of your assignments if you want. Good luck, and I hope everything's going well.